Welcome everyone to the March community meeting of the Coalition to Modify NOTA. I am very excited to update you about what's been going on. I feel very encouraged by our momentum. From here, I'm going to be beginning the presentation. Our agenda for today is an update on our progress, some explanation of our pathway moving forward. After my presentation, we will have an opportunity to go into breakout rooms to discuss our ideas, and then we will open up the floor to a full discussion. In 2015, the American Medical Association passed a resolution, and within that resolution, you can check number 2, that they support well-designed studies that use incentives, including valuable consideration, to increase living and deceased donation rates. So by framing our bill as a 10-year trial, a 10-year pilot, we are hoping to get far more congressional support. As you know, this has never been done before in the United States, where we have offered a refundable tax credit for kidney donors. And so we are very confident it's going to be highly successful, and that before the 10th year is even completed, our congressional leaders will decide to extend the benefits to all living donors. That is our goal, as well as expand it beyond the 10-year mark. Now, there may be a scientific innovation in which living donations are no longer needed, in which case we do not need to offer the refundable tax credits. However, as we know, it is as likely as it is unlikely for that to happen. And so by designing this as a 10-year pilot, we will be able to get broader support and then prove our point, and then get the opportunity to offer this benefit to more people for a longer period of time. So far, since January 3rd, we've had 88 congressional meetings, 43 senators, 45 House representatives have met with us. Or I should say their staffers have met with us. In 14 states, we've had meetings with both senators, so I consider that a big success. Meetings were very positive across the board. We have had 14 states where we've had meetings with only one senator. We still need to meet with the other senator, and that is the goal in the coming month. So I'm going to be in touch with you, if you live in those states, to reach out to that senator we haven't met with yet in order to make that connection. 22 states where we have met with 0 senators. So if you know people in these states, please get them to sign our mission statement, put them in touch with me, and we'll make it happen. A House Republican is interested in becoming the lead sponsor for the bill, which is super exciting. That was perhaps the biggest hurdle, is getting interest in the majority party in the House on the Ways and Means Committee. So that's very exciting and very promising. We're now looking for a Democrat to become the co-lead on the bill. We also need to identify Senate champions on the Senate Finance Committee. As I mentioned in earlier meetings, the 2 key committees for us are the Ways and Means Committee in the House and the Senate Finance Committee. So that's where it happens, and that's where we need our lead sponsors to come from. Once the bill is introduced, we will host a lobbying day in Washington, D.C. Good news from the National Kidney Foundation. We were in discussion with them, and I'll just read their statement. While the National Kidney Foundation does not support modifying NOTA or allowing large tax credits, we are not actively engaged in lobbying against these proposals. Our position is public, but we are not meeting with Hill offices, not issuing action alerts, nor have we engaged in any meaningful way to counter these efforts. And that's very important, that we will not get opposition from the NKF. I had the good fortune to go to Colorado for 2 nights. We're working on passing legislation there. It's called the CARE Act for Living Organ Donors. It is a bill that will provide a $40,000 refundable tax credit to all non-directed donors in Colorado. Colorado is aiming to become the first place in the entire world with a wait list of 0. And they're also, within that CARE Act bill, offering other benefits for living donors. And I think that it is very promising. It's being led by Representative Rutanel, who I'm pictured with on the left. On the right, I had the honor of presenting the movie Confessions of a Good Samaritan. It's a new documentary by a filmmaker named Penny Lane. She's a non-directed donor who videotaped her own donation, and she created a film about it. I've seen it 4 times. If you're interested in seeing it or perhaps planning a screening of the film, please be in touch with me. While I was there, following the film, I led a panel discussion with several people who have suffered from kidney failure. And I think it was a good success in raising awareness about the needs of people who are suffering from kidney failure. So I'll keep you updated on the progress of that bill. In addition, I'm working on a third bill, a federal bill, the Honor Our Living Donors Act. The American Society of Nephrology is a big advocate of the bill, as well as the National Kidney Foundation is in favor of the bill. We had a hearing last week, and that's very exciting in terms of the progress. That bill has been introduced in the House and will fix the low-income donor reimbursement system. So they look at both, they look at only donor income and not recipient income when they are deciding who is eligible for reimbursement for cost and loss wages.